Hey y'all, it's your girl Dayj, and here I am back with another video for you guys. If you coming back to my channel, you a real one. And if you're new to my channel, you still a real one. I appreciate all the views, all the love, all the support. Like, y'all lit. But I'ma save asking anybody that's new to my channel and didn't subscribe yet. I'ma save asking y'all for favors to the very end, so that way you can know what you're getting into before I start asking you for stuff. So let's get into what this video is actually about. So as you guys can tell from the title of the video, this segment is called Just a Pep Talk, and today I want to have a conversation with you guys about something that doesn't really get talked about too much, and if it does get talked about, then clearly I'm not a part of the conversation. So today I want to talk to you guys about mental maintenance, and what that is basically what you would do for your car. Every once in a while, you got to get a checkup, make sure everything is running smoothly, make sure there ain't no problems, ain't no fixing that need to be done. And when it do need to be done, it's pretty costly. And that's kind of sort of what we do or have to do when it comes to our minds, because every once in a while we got to go in there, dig deep, and figure out, okay, what needs to be fixed, if anything needs to be fixed. But 9 times out of 10, there's always something that needs to be fixed when it comes to this thing up here. But if you go in there and you do your little diagnostic and you realize there's a lot of issues in there, it's going to be costly, not in the form of money, but in the form of how much you have to do to repair it. So I want to talk to you guys about the things that I instill into my life to make sure this thing is always in its best shape, no matter if it does have to get repaired or not, that I'm always doing the proper work that needs to be done to get it back on track, if you feel what I'm saying. So let's just get right into it. Okay, so the first key factor is to affirm, or affirmation, which means to state or assert positively and maintain as true. And why affirmations are important is because a lot of the time we're hard on ourselves and there's a lot of negative clutter in our minds, and we don't realize how much it can affect us in a negative way, or we may realize it and not do anything about it. And affirmations are important because that is you trying to get your subconscious mind to believe something that you may not believe in because it's blocked by a negative. And the best way for affirmations to work is to constantly remind yourself of something that you want to believe. So you need to constantly tell yourself these things. And one of the best types or forms of affirmations is to start with I am, because anything after I am, your subconscious mind is forced to believe it, because your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between true and false, real or fake. So if you're constantly telling yourself I am successful, I am abundant, I am rich, I am wealthy, your subconscious mind is sitting there like, okay, is this true though? Like, do you believe it? Like, I heard you, but do you believe it? And that's where the second key factor comes into play, which is to assure. Assurance means to inform or tell positively, state with confidence, and to secure or confirm. And the reason why affirmations and assurance go together is because affirmations are simply telling yourself something you want to believe, and assurance is the process of getting your mind to believe what you told it. So if you tell yourself, you know, I am successful, I am abundant, I am wealthy, you're just telling yourself that. But assurance is making sure your subconscious mind know, I believe in this and I need you to believe in it too, so that we can move accordingly. And that's the process of using your affirmations and assurance. And that's why those key factors go hand in hand, because we're trying to reprogram our subconscious mind. When we go out into the world, a lot of the times we're being fed negativity from ourselves, which don't really come from us. It comes from the outside world. Anything within us never comes from you, because you didn't create yourself. The outside world created you, and that's a whole nother topic. But we're constantly being fed, you know, negative information, false information that makes us alter our true image. When it comes to affirmations, you have to reprogram yourself over to believe in what's true, because as spiritual people, we're limitless and we are capable of many things, and the outside world has a way of making us believe that we are not these limitless beings. So really, you're not reprogramming yourself, you're kind of getting back to your natural real self, if that makes sense. So those key factors, assurance and affirmations, are very, very important. The second key factor is awareness, which means consciousness or having knowledge of. And this is also very important, because you have to be aware of not only the world around you, but what type of information is being fed in your mind. Because a lot of the times, most of us, we live in an unconscious mindset. We let so much information just pass through and you don't even realize it. It's very important for you to open up your third eye and pay attention to these things, because it's very important. Choosing not to be aware or neglecting, you know, consciousness is pretty much like if you think of your mind as your home, because it really is. That's like leaving your home with the doors unlocked, with the windows unlocked, with the key right there on the doorstep. Like, come inside. You're giving the outside world permission pretty much and access to your valuables, and you can't do that. You have to be aware of the type of information that's entering your home. And negative thoughts, they can sense, you know, thieves can sense when there's unlocked doors. Okay, if you leave your door unlocked for a week straight, I bet you somebody gonna come and rob you. And that's how negativity works. And they're gonna come in and they're gonna take your valuables. They're gonna rob you of all that positivity that you've been working so hard to build. And then you're gonna return home one day, you're gonna be like, who did this? And at the end of the day, you have to take responsibility, because you have to make sure this is secure at all times. Lock the doors. When you instill positivity in here all the time, these are your valuables. Don't give the outside world access to come in here and rob you of those positive thoughts, because negativity, they're going to come in, take your valuables, and leave you with a mess, and you're going to have to deal with it. So being aware of the type of information that's coming in and making sure this is secure, being, you know, aware that only the things that you allow to come inside of your mind, that enter your thought process and into your mental, is, you know, you gave it permission. You know, it knocked on the door and said, hey, can I come in? You said, yes, please come into my humble abode. What's mine is yours. Think of it as awareness, as installing cameras in your mind, so that way even when you're not aware, you're still aware. That makes sense. So even when you're not at home, you got the cameras, like, okay, what's going on in here? Okay, the kids are asleep, you know, because if a thief come in, oh, well, hold on, wait a minute, something's not right. Something is trying to enter my home and it's not supposed to be there. You know, that's how you gotta think of it. You gotta be on it. As soon as something try to get in there, some negativity try to enter in there, oh, I'm a failure. Oh, I'm never going to be successful. Oh, I'm never going to find love. Block it out. You're not supposed to be in here. So be aware of what's going on in your home. Don't just let anybody go up in there and take your stuff. Ain't it a poem called, I think it was from what was it? It's for Colored Girls, when she was talking about my stuff. I think that poem would go right perfect with this right now. I don't know how it would go exactly, but I feel like it would fit right in. But anyway, but yeah, don't let anybody come in and destroy your stuff, take your stuff that you worked hard to build. Okay, be aware, open up your third eye, and pay attention to the things that's going on around you and the type of information you're feeding yourself or allowing other people to feed you. And the last key factor is acknowledgement, which means recognition of the existence of truth of something and the expression of appreciation. When it comes to acknowledgement in your mentality, in your mindset, you have to acknowledge what is there. And a lot of the times we know that everything up here is not good. You know, everything up here is not positive, you know, and it happens, but you have to acknowledge what's there and acknowledge where these thoughts came from and why they're there and why you try so hard to or not try hard enough to let them go. So since we're using the home metaphor, you know, think of your thoughts as your furniture. And a lot of our homes have a lot of clutter, for one, and two, old, dusty, negative furniture that just gotta go. It's time to redecorate. In our homes, there's a lot of us have things that we never use, things that don't bring us joy, things that we forgot was there, things we didn't even know was there, and things that take up way too much space. Yo, get up and clean up your home. Get in there and declutter. Take that stuff out, okay? When it comes to negative thoughts, take what you find and don't just throw it out. You know, they say that, you know, when you're cleaning your home and you're getting rid of stuff, don't just throw it in the trash, but, you know, sit with it for a little bit and, you know, say to it, you know, I appreciate the time that I've had with you, but it's time for us to depart, you know. And you should kind of sort of do that with your negative thoughts too, because a lot of the times our negative thoughts spent way more time with us than our positive thoughts, and though they didn't bring us the best times, you still learned from them. So sit with it for a little bit, whatever the negative thought or the negative belief is, and say, you know, I appreciate you while you was here, you know, I've learned a lot, but it's time for you to go. And then replace it with a new self-evolving positive furniture. And when you get rid of that negative furniture, don't store it nowhere. Don't store it. Put it out on the street and let it be somebody else's trash or treasure. You know, don't go back to it. Don't try to look for who took it. No, let it sit there and replace it. When you do, you know, get rid of the negative belief, one, you have to replace it with a positive belief. Otherwise, you'll just have an empty space and you'll just be like, okay, there's nothing there. And you'll either want to go back and put that negative thing back in that spot until you find something else, or you're just going to be in this dormant, stagnant, no furniture home. And we need stuff in here that's going to make us feel good, you know, and move accordingly in the outside world. When we come to our home, we're supposed to come into a place that relaxes us, that makes us feel good, and takes away all the pain and the annoyingness of the outside world. So we got to make sure our homes are filled with light, you know, at all times. You know, even sometimes we'll try to instill positive thoughts, you know, in our minds. And because we're so cluttered with negative space, we think there's no room for it. There's room, you're just not making space. So you sit there and be like, okay, I'm successful, but I'm a failure is up there, so I can't put you there. I suck at everything is right there. Dang, I can't put that there. Oh, I'm just never gonna find love again. I can't move that. Oh, so I kind of bought this for nothing. No, there's a purpose for this, and they don't need to be there no more. You had them way too long. Get rid of them, all three of them, and put this beautiful new positive thought up there, right up there where you can see it. Yes, I'm successful. I see you. Okay? When it comes to positive thoughts, there will always be room in your home for a positive thought. You know, like sometimes you like go shopping and you'll see something, you'll be like, oh, this is nice, but you don't know if you got room for it. And as soon as you get home, it's this perfect spot for it. Like, oh, right there. I didn't even think it was gonna fit like that. Yes, when it comes to positive thoughts, it's always gonna fit. It's always gonna be room for it. In our homes, a lot of us have, you know, rooms that we don't want to go inside of. Like, you know, it's so junky in there that we just was like, okay, I'ma just never go in that room. I'ma just leave all that stuff in there, never go in there, never clean it out. Or it's just a room that just like, oh, it's too many memories in there, I don't want to go in there and face the, you know, that room. But you gotta go in there. You know, otherwise that room is always going to be there, and the memory or the belief or the thought that you're trying so hard to avoid is forever going to be on the other side of that door. But it's still, that room itself is still within your home, so you're always going to have a space in there that you can't access. And you should always have access or feel comfortable entering every door in your home. So be brave, you know, develop the courage to open the door and face what's on the other side. Because it's a much more therapeutic experience when you just go in there and face it. Just let it all out. That's how our minds work. There's a lot of beliefs in there that we don't know is there, that we never use, that's just there just to be there, taking up space for no reason. Things that no longer bring us joy, no longer serve us, you know. And it's all about, you know, replacing these things with something better. That's what life is, replacing things with something better, not being stagnant and keeping your home the way it is, never redecorating, never changing nothing. Go in there and change what's behind that door, you know. Take, like I said, take that belief, say, while you was here, I learned a lot, we had fun, but it's time for something better. Another important thing is that goes with acknowledgement is cognitive dissonance, which I don't know the exact definition of it, but it's basically putting your mind in an uncomfortable position. Basically physically going against something that you're thinking mentally. I think that's kind of what it is. So if you tell yourself I am rich, but you acting broke, or you telling yourself you broke, that's cognitive dissonance. You're going against, you know, what you told yourself. Or in another term, if somebody say, yeah, I know cigarettes cause cancer, but they still smoking the cigarettes, that's another form of cognitive dissonance. So as far as talking about that door that you're not trying to go through, you're gonna put yourself in in cognitive dissonance, because when you go in there, it's gonna be uncomfortable. It's gonna be like, wow, like I'm not moving the way I see myself moving. So another example of cognitive dissonance is like you imagine yourself as this big amazing person doing these big amazing things, changing the world, you popping, you got money, you living your absolute best life. But in the real world, you're not moving accordingly. You wake up, you don't do anything productive, you know, just go with the flow of life. You know, you're not really positive towards yourself, and you surround yourself by negative people. That's a form of cognitive dissonance right there. When you think of yourself as this positive and amazing person, but you see how you move in the real world, it's kind of like, but you can break that by doing these key factors to get your mind to align how you're moving physically. Okay guys, that marks the end of this pep talk. I hope you guys learned a lot. I hope you guys took notes if you felt like taking notes, and I hope you guys are ready to go out into the world and make some changes, ready to declutter, redecorate your home, and all that amazing stuff. For those who didn't subscribe yet, if you ain't already subscribed midway, you're slacking. Get down there and press that subscribe button, because more amazing and lovely stuff is coming your way. Again, this is your girl, Just Dayj, and deuces.